Hello everybody and welcome to Wednesday's Tech Garage morning classes. It's me again, Sarah. And so today we are going to be making a Vibrobot maze, and we're also going to be painting something that has been 3D printed. And I'm actually going to show you how you can even combine those projects all into one thing. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the Vibrobot. So you should have in your kit, you should have a bag for this. And inside, there is a teeny tiny motor with a red wire and a blue wire. This is actually a cell phone motor. So this is the reason cell phones vibrate. So when you feel that phone vibrate on the table, it's the little motor that's inside. And then you're also going to need another coin cell battery. And then there should also be the head of a toothbrush. I know that seems kind of weird, but that we also sometimes call these bristle bots. So these little robots actually work, they get power from the circuit we're going to build, and then they also work based on friction between those bristles and the tabletop. And so I have one in my hand, and I'm going to show you. Hopefully I got him a little bit balanced. He's a little bit tipsy. So right now, he's a little bit off balance. I'm trying to get him more balanced again. I might need to move some things around. So with your bristle bot, you're going to want to, a big key to making this little guy work is actually getting him really balanced. So you want to have him you're going to have to balance where you put the battery and where you put the motor. I may add a little bit more tape in a second. And so once you get him balanced and have the little motor on, they will actually vibrate and kind of dance around on a surface. I will tell you the smoother the surface, the better. And then I'm going to give you a couple hints. This is my little guy. Come on, you're doing good. I can feel you vibrating. My little guy here is not liking this table surface that I've got going on here. So you can see he's wanting to vibrate. He's vibrating. He doesn't like the table surface. There he goes. So this is my little bristle bot right now, and he's kind of dancing around on the table. I don't know if you can hear that vibration that's happening. So I just need to retape my battery on. So what I'm going to show you is how you're going to assemble this. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take that little motor that you have. You may want to use your wire strippers very gently, because these are super tiny, skinny wires, but sometimes there's not a lot of the wire exposed on the end, and it's covered by that insulation. So you might have to take some of the insulation off. I will tell you, it's super tricky. Be very gentle when you're pulling, because it's very easy to just clip the wire. But you want to have as much of that little wire as you can have it exposed so that you have more to touch the surface of your battery. And then the next thing you're going to do is, again, you want to figure out which is the plus and which is the minus side. And so you want to get them attached so that your motor actually starts to vibrate. And once it does that, that means that you have figured out which side it needs to be attached to. Now, what I discovered when I was putting together my little bristle bot was I was having a hard time getting a good connection on the battery. So I actually grabbed some of my leftover copper tape, and I'm holding this up. Hopefully you can see it. I actually used a teeny piece of copper tape on each side to attach the wires to the battery. Make sure you don't put the copper tape all the way around, because that's going to short circuit it. But I just put a little bit of extra copper tape over the ends of the wires on each side, because that gave me a better connection. Because I was having a hard time keeping a good connection on the battery. And so as you can see, he's raring to go right now. So what I'm going to do is, once you get your motor and your battery connected, you need to connect it to the toothbrush. And so there's different ways you can do it. You can do it with glue and let it set overnight, or you can use electrical tape. And I'm going to actually attach my battery with a little bit of electrical tape here. And so that's how you're going to get your little bristlebot, Vibrobot attached. And so I'm going to just take this and put him on here, although now my connection's funky. And so you want to get it to where he's pretty balanced. Woo. It's kind of hard. I will say this is tricky to work with because it's really small. But we're doing this because tomorrow we're actually going to do a bigger version. We're going to be making a wobble bot. So this is actually a good practice for the larger version. What's happening? I'm going to keep going. I'm not sure what just happened. We had a little dance party there for a second. I'm going to peek and see real quick which we're still recording. Yes. Oh, that was interesting. Okay, so I'm kind of doing this blindly. That's okay. But we had a little dance party there for a second. I think somebody's phone was accidentally connected to this TV. So a little surprise there. All right, so I've got them attached. Still off balance. So the trick is going to be finding the balance so that your bristle bot doesn't fall over when he starts to vibrate. And so that's going to be what I'm trying to mess with here. Come on, buddy. I'm going to tilt him to the side a little bit. So yeah, so you're going to fiddle around with him a little bit, get him balanced. Mine right now is wanting to tilt to the side. Use your electrical tape. You don't want to cover the bristles because that's what's going to give you that nice friction on the table and keep him moving. Now, one of the other things, he's vibrating in my hand right now. One of the other things you're going to make is you have some foam board and some straws. We're going to need some scissors and some clear tape. And I've made a maze. All I did was cut up my straws, use my tape to hold them in place, and I made a little maze. Now what you can do, once you get your bristle bot to stand up the way he's supposed to, so if you put him in here, they're gonna vibrate and move, and he's gonna start to kind of bounce off the sides. And you can actually get your bristle bot, my little guy is tilted, you can actually get your bristle bot to just work based on friction and him bouncing around on the table to actually move through your whole maze. So again, of course mine's just not gonna cooperate now that we're on camera, because I had him going through the maze a little while ago. You get him on here, let him vibrate and bounce, and he will actually start to move through your maze. And so it'll just be him bouncing off the different surfaces and going through. So he's starting to wobble now. I gotta get him a little bit more balanced. But he'll start bouncing off the walls and just keep going through your maze, kind of guiding him right now. And so you can actually see if you can get him to go through the whole maze. He's going, he's just going really slow right now. And see if you can actually get your bristle bot to make it through. And again, it's just going to be him bouncing. So he's already gone the wrong way. He's going to end up at a dead end down here. But as you can see, he is moving. So again, we're just working with circuits here. We made a really simple circuit with just a motor and a battery. Just making sure you know how to connect positive and negative, using that copper tape to create that connection. And then your little robot's actually moving because of that vibration. And the reduction in friction with the vibrations and the bristles across the table. He's stuck right now. So we'll go again. So that's going to be your bristle bot. Now, the other thing that you have in your kit is you have the top of the skull and the bottom jaw of the skull. Cool thing is, these were printed in our 3D printer. So we actually printed these here. Everybody got the same thing. So what you're going to have to do, you may need to file him down a little bit. So I know I had trouble getting this guy and the jaw connected. And so when you want to put them together, I'm going to show you one of that. You got your two pieces here. You also have in the back, you have some paint. I don't remember if we got the same colors. I got teal and I got gray and I got a paintbrush. So we gave that to you because I also have some other things that I 3D printed where I've been gone ahead and painted them. So one of them is I have a baby Yoda that I printed, and then I actually hand painted him. And I didn't get to bring him on today, so I'll actually grab him and bring him on tomorrow. But so you can actually paint things that have been 3D printed. So I know you guys right now are working on your 3D printed projects. You can actually create something that you're going to 3D print, and then when you get it, you can actually paint it. And so the other week we actually printed, the other day we actually printed some little baby Yodas, and all we had left was really dark filament. So then we painted over it with white to give it a lighter base, and then the kids actually got to paint their own baby Yodas. So I'm going to come over and show you. The skull starts out like this. So you got your two pieces. And what I did is I connected my pieces. So here they are, connected. I painted the skull blue, and then I just wanted to show you, here's another option for your bristle bot. I actually glued my toothbrush to the bottom of my dinosaur skull, and then I glued the motor back here underneath, and all I have to do now is connect my wires to the battery. I think I'm just going to connect my battery back here and set the battery back here, and so I will actually have a vibro bot that's actually going to be my T-Rex skull instead. So my next vibrobot that I'm building right now is actually going to be a tiny T-Rex. Now I will show you something. If the toothbrush head you have, if the bristles are not even, you do want to take some scissors or something and try and cut them and trim them so that the bristles are all even on the bottom. Because otherwise that's definitely going to make your bristlebot tilt back and forth, and you don't want that. So those are going to be your 3 projects today. So again, you're looking for that little cell phone motor. It is super tiny. You really got to kind of search for it in that bag. You need a battery. You need your, if you have any cover tape left, I highly recommend it. We're getting a good connection on the battery with those wires. You may need your wire strippers if you're going to take off some of that insulation on the wires. And then again, your toothbrush, battery, motor, copper tape, a little bit of electrical tape. And then I've got everything connected on here. You're going to build your maze, and that's going to be your foam board. And you're going to take scissors and cut your straws up. And again, I just use clear tape to attach the straws on here. So my maze actually will get out and it'll go all the way here. So there's all these dead ends. You do want to make sure you put straws along the side if you are using your bristlebot, even if it's not the way out. They might actually fall off the board if you do that. And then you're actually going to put your little bristlebot in. And again, part of this is a balance game. You got to get them to a point where you've got the motor and the battery balance. I've also got a curved board right now, which is making this interesting. And so then he's going to work off his vibrations. So he's starting to go. He's vibrating. He's going. He's just really slow this morning. And hopefully you'll be able to get your bristlebot to vibrate actually through your maze. And again, you've got your 3D printed project that you can go ahead and paint. And again, if you want to, you can do what I did, which is actually attach it. I just haven't had a chance to finish. I'm going to attach my motor to a battery on here and see how this guy works. So I'll probably do that today, and then I may bring that on tomorrow when we go ahead and do our wobble box. Now, this afternoon, you are going to be making 2 things with the teacher this afternoon. So you are going to be making, you're going to be playing with squishy circuits, which is a lot of fun. It's basically learning how to make circuits using Play-Doh. And then you're also going to be making a smartphone projector with them. Now, also in your supplies and in your directions, you have an extension activity that you can do today. And that is actually cell phone speakers made with a paper tube. And so look for those supplies in your bag. And so that's an activity. Again, the directions are there. It's not part of your class today, but it's an extension activity you can do on your own, which is actually make speakers using Rensselaer cups. And so all of that works off of vibrations, amplifying sounds. So that's an extra activity for you guys today. Again, keep working on your 3D printed projects. I haven't seen any emails of any projects yet. So make sure you're getting that email to me by the end of the week. So if you do want us to print something for you, I just have to have it by Friday. And again, my email is in the directions. So when you finish your project, you can send them to me and we will get them printed for you. Good luck today, and I will see you tomorrow.